What's up, guys? This is Jay from COI. So this weekend there were a lot more protests. Um, Many of them involved people with assault rifles and plates and gear and tactical equipment, and looking like they were going to go to Fallujah. Instead, they were going into their own state capitals. And look, I wanna say this first off. I have been in defense of these people. A lot of them. And most of the time that we've covered it, I've talked about how I can sympathize with their issue. And I can sympathize with the fact that if you don't have money right now, if you're not getting a paycheck of any form, this is awful. This isn't just sitting at home watching reruns of TV and enjoying it, while you work from your computer and you have a nice coffee and you lounge in your sweatpants. No, that's not your life right now. You're panicking and you're deciding, okay, what can I sell to pay for rent, to pay for groceries? What do I have that I can unload real quick so my family doesn't starve? I get that, and I've been with that for an incredibly long time. But my issue is more and more video has come out from this weekend. The protesters who, number one, let's just say this: if these people were black, Mexican, God forbid, Middle Eastern, and shown up with assault rifles and tactical gear and everything else and stormed the Capitol, can you imagine what would happen? I mean, seriously. I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure it'd be far more violent than what happened this weekend. Yeah, but regardless, we had all these people, and they stormed their state capitals. They're all packed in, not going by social distancing, and yeah, that's a perfect time for a peak. Because you have all these people traveling from different parts of the state, all convening in one location, and then all going back to those different parts of the state. And in fact, I don't even have to, theorize about it. We've already seen this happen in North Dakota, or sorry, North Carolina and Michigan, where these protests have actually led to the spread of coronavirus. But even more so, if you want to don your latest skull face mask and your AR-15, which is probably garbage, you don't have a heckler, to be honest. I didn't see any real guns out there. But you want to go out there and you want to play Army Man, and you want to, fair enough, whatever. But now you're going into the state capitol with all these first responders and the security guards, and now you're exposing them to coronavirus as well. It's really selfish, to be honest. But, to take a step back, though, we also found out that many of these protests were actually paid for and narrated by people like the Koch brothers, who they're doing fine, by the way, just to point that out. And I'm sure a lot of the protesters don't even know that. They don't understand that they are, in some ways, pawns of big corporations. And I wish that some of these protesters who, look, they're really good at getting attention. And I do have a take on that. But phenomenal at getting camera and eyes on them. And I wish that their messages had a little bit more substance as I'm seeing the signs, because that's the only way that we can really tell what any of the protesters want. Instead of saying, I'm starving, we need jobs, we need health care, we need something, we need money for food, I'm seeing Trump 2020, MAGA, a lot of trolls going on. It depends on who the governor is. Um, I'm seeing, it's my right. Freedom is being attacked. The worst one I saw with social distancing is communism. Worst one. I'm sorry, your freedoms and rights don't allow you to be in my bubble, okay? It's not communism for me to not want you in my shit. But they have this opportunity. And I feel like they're squandering it because, and if you are one of those people who has protested this or you are with them, please just answer me the question, why are you wanting to be a shill more for these big corporations and these people? You want to go back to work making crumbs while the rich and entitled are safe in their little high-rise apartments. And you want that to continue. Why? Why aren't you protesting for change? The whole system to be uprooted. Why keep that drone mentality of doing what they want you to? And trust me, you are when you're doing this, because you would shake up the entire structure of this government even more if you pushed for a UBI or Medicare for all or something like that, that honestly would help you a lot more right now. But it makes me realize that maybe a lot of these people, they're just doing it because they're Trump supporters. And it's some kind of wink and a nod at Donald Trump. And that's really sad. It really, really is, because a lot of people are probably making a fatal mistake just to maybe let Trump know they're with him. Even though Trump had set his own guidelines out and none of the states have cleared those guidelines, yet your governors who you're protesting, they're opening up. That would be against Donald Trump's wishes. You understand that, right? And it'll be interesting to see in some of these states where they are opening up, and we can see numbers going up, if Donald Trump's going to come back around and say, no, I didn't tell him to do that. Yeah, a lot of people died, and it was their fault. They should have stayed closed. I'm going to be really curious about that. But on to my second point with the protests. So basically, like 14% of the country wants us to reopen. Over 70% thinks that we're doing it too fast right now, right? So obviously the minority is winning out on this. And it's mixed. It's mixed between the elites and the corporations, because they want us to open up right now, and the blue collar worker and the people who work for the elites and the big corporations. They want us to open up too. And even, to be fair, they're obviously, they make up more than 14%, so probably only about half of them want to open up. But still, it's only 14%. And as I said, most states are moving to open up right now. They listen to the protests. And it made me think, as a progressive, we don't fight hard enough. We are the only group who is not recognized. And I know that there's a lot of people, center and on the right, who are like, well, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are radical left. No, they're not. They're not even close to what we want. They are far more on your side than they are on ours. But I'm thinking, maybe we need to start arming ourselves more. I mean, I've got guns. I know a lot of progressives that do. When we go protest for Medicare for all, maybe we do strap up the heckler. Maybe we, break out the scar. And then we head out with our vests and everything. And we hold signs that say Medicare for all. Maybe we'll actually get the attention to get something passed. Because it's also the conviction of these protesters right now, who they're willing to say, I'll die for this. And I don't think progressives have really pushed it that far. We don't have that conviction that we really need. And maybe we should be willing to be arrested for Medicare for all, for $15 an hour, for whatever you get, whatever it is. That's the flag we need to fly, is we will do it. I mean, look how many people right now who are Bernie Sanders leftists who are like, wow, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to have to vote for Biden because I don't want to rock the boat too much. Really? A vote? You're afraid to rock the boat with your vote. That's your line? Knowing that the centrists and the far right, they'll just burn everything down. We have to have that mentality, or we're never getting anything done. And I think that's why there's so many progressives who are coming around to that ideology, because trust me, this isn't just come from me. I've had a lot of progressives in my circle who are like, dude, we need to start protesting with guns. We need to start showing that we're willing to make a commitment to. And look, no violence, of course. I mean, I'm sure ours will turn out more violent. But we're not going to go shoot anyone. Just protest and say, hey, we've got guns too. Does that make you want to listen to us a little bit more? Because be fair, on every one of the protests I've seen from the right wing or the Tea Party, very few of them were actually ever about guns. But they brought their guns. I'm just saying we should too. But, and again, it's more the commitment. We don't show that. We're always waiting. Oh, well, maybe Biden will go a little bit more left. No, he won't. Don't be dumb. Don't fall into that. Biden is not going to go any further left. They're never going to want anyone who's further left than Hillary Clinton. We got to burn it down. And honestly, I have to thank the protesters for teaching me that. Because Medicare for All, or a single-payer healthcare system, is actually incredibly popular. But they're never going to pass it. Reopening is not very popular at all, and they're already passing it. So it's not about the legislation, it's not about the popularity of the legislation, it's about the people pushing for it. That's on us. We got to change.